Imagine walking down a normal street. Everything looks the same. Nothing feels unusual. But then, you check the time, and something isn't right. Minutes feel longer or shorter, as if time itself is slipping. This isn't science fiction. There are real reports of a place where people claim time doesn't behave the way it should. A street where reality feels slightly broken. This is the mystery of Bold Street, a place where time itself may not follow the rules. But what's really happening here? Is it just perception, or something far more disturbing? Welcome to Curiosity Rift.
What if the clock on your wall and the watch on your wrist are lying to you? We build our entire lives around the assumption that a second is a second, no matter where you stand on Earth. For centuries, we treated time like an inescapable, constant river. We assumed it flowed at exactly the same speed for everyone, everywhere, from the top of a mountain to the bottom of the ocean. In 1905, Albert Einstein corrected that misconception. His theory of special relativity proved that time and space are intimately intertwined, reacting to the physical conditions around them. This gives us kinematic time dilation. The math dictates that when an object moves extremely fast or enters an intense gravitational field, its passage of time literally slows down compared to an observer standing perfectly still. In 1971, physicists Joseph Hafele and Richard Keating transformed these equations into a physical test. They flew highly precise atomic clocks on commercial jets twice around the world to see if the theory held up at terrestrial speeds. When the jets landed, those flying clocks had actually lost fractions of a second. They fell out of sync with identical clocks that had remained on the ground, proving time dilation is a physical constant of our world. Physics confirms that time warps under high speeds and cosmic gravity. But if the fabric of time can bend in orbit, we have to ask what happens if these warps occur naturally, right here, in the localized environment of Earth. In the heart of modern Liverpool, a seemingly ordinary shopping district leading up to the bombed-out Church of St. Luke's hides a bizarre pattern. For decades, pedestrians walking down Bold Street have reported stepping entirely out of the present. Take the 1996 case of a former police officer named Frank. While trotting to meet his wife at a local bookstore, he stepped off the modern pavement and found the city dissolving around him. The 1990s faded out, replaced instantly by an older, unfamiliar version of Liverpool. The modern bookstore had transformed into a 1950s women's clothing shop named Crepes. Pedestrians wore post-war fashion, and a vintage delivery van with a classic logo drove straight past him on what was supposed to be a pedestrian-only street. Skeptics and investigators have tried to map a logical explanation onto these shifts, looking beneath the pavement for answers to either hallucinations or actual temporal displacements. Directly beneath Bold Street sits a section of the city's underground railway network. The tracks here form a massive, high-voltage circular loop. The intense electromagnetic fields generated by this subterranean infrastructure could be inducing vivid hallucinations in the human temporal lobe. Or those massive energy fields might be creating localized vortices, physically causing the fabric of reality to glitch and overlay the past directly onto the present. While an urban street might trigger a temporary slip, remote environments host anomalies that are terrifyingly permanent. In southwestern Vermont, the dense, isolated forests of the Bennington Triangle have a documented history of zones where time and space completely erase people. In 1949, a veteran named James Tedford boarded a bus bound for Bennington. Multiple witnesses confirmed he was in his seat, yet somewhere along the route, he vanished entirely. When the bus arrived, Tedford was gone, but his luggage and an open timetable remained sitting on his empty chair. Across the Atlantic, the Hoia Baciu forest in Romania presents a landscape of total stagnation. The environment is filled with inexplicably malformed, gnarled trees that seem to twist away from the earth itself. Local records detail a 5-year-old girl who wandered into these thick woods and disappeared. She emerged 5 years later wearing the exact same unweathered clothes. For her, no time had passed at all, and she had zero memory of the intervening years. Modern visitors regularly report severe biological and technological disruptions within the tree line. Batteries instantly drain, compasses spin wildly, and hikers frequently emerge suffering from intense nausea and unexplained burns on their skin. Researchers suspect the dense soil of Hoia Baciu harbors extreme magnetic anomalies. These natural, concentrated energy fields are powerful enough to physically disrupt delicate biological systems and electronic devices alike. Unlike a brief visual glitch on a busy shopping street, the brutal permanence of these wilderness events suggests that specific geographic coordinates on our planet can completely decouple from standard physics. Applying the mechanics of relativity to these anomalies suggests a terrifying parallel. While the energy required to bend time usually demands the mass of a star, these accounts imply that the potholes Einstein described in the cosmos could exist on a much smaller terrestrial scale, representing localized spacetime warping. This thin spot hypothesis treats time dilation as a physical vulnerability, invisible traps where an individual might unknowingly step into a distorted field and slip out of the normal flow of reality. The people walking down Bolt Street, wandering the Bennington Woods, or exploring Hoia Baciu did not lose their minds. They placed a foot into a geographic pothole in the universe. Our assumption that time is a perfectly stable, forward-moving constant is a convenient illusion, one we blindly trust every time we check our watches. So the next time the ambient noise of the world around you suddenly drops away, or you feel an inexplicable sudden chill in the air, you need to stop, because you might just be standing on the very edge of a temporal fracture.
The mystery of Bold Street leaves us with more questions than answers. A place where people claim to experience moments that don't fit into reality. Is it simply the mind playing tricks, or could there be something about this place we don't yet understand? Because if time can behave differently, even in small ways, then maybe reality isn't as stable as we believe. What do you think? Is this just coincidence or something truly unexplained? Let me know in the comments. And if you're curious about mysteries like this, make sure to subscribe to Curiosity Rift, because sometimes the strangest places are hiding in plain sight.